Welcome to Game Hydro. Today we're going to give our opinion on Age of Empires Mobile because we already gave a little bit of a gameplay overview, so now we're going to give you a little bit of a gameplay review. First, what we're going to talk about is the graphics. Age of Empires obviously is a AAA title. As such, you would expect the mobile version of it to also be a AAA title, not to look like a PlayStation 2 game. But here we have what looks exactly like a PlayStation 2 game. Maybe a PlayStation 3 game, if I'm being generous. But I'm not really in a generous mood after playing this game for a while. The graphics, and some may say that on a mobile device, the graphics aren't going to look as good. You should be a little more generous with the assessment of how they look. But mobile games have been looking as good as PS3 games for about the last 8 years. Since about 2016, 2017, they've been looking just as good. Additionally, I shot this on an iPad Pro that was only purchased 2 years ago. Not an old school iPad Air 2 that I purchased in 2015. So with the absolute most powerful hardware available, you think you would have something a little better going. Unfortunately, that was not the case. Alright, enough about the graphics. We'll talk about the voiceovers. Well, overall sound in the game, which includes the voiceovers. Most people don't play mobile games for the sound, but if you turn the speakers on or you wear headphones, the sound can be something that the game enhances. For example, my kids play Genshin Impact with the sound on because they appreciate the soundtrack and they appreciate the voiceovers. In this game, the soundtrack is completely nondescript. It's just kind of there, only it doesn't seem like it's there. There's really nothing much to it. The sound effects are fine. They kind of just sound like they were taken from a clip library, only during battles especially, the sound effects play over each other because there are so many of them. There's so many swords hitting shields going on at the same time. They didn't really whittle it down or narrow it down. The worst part of the sound, though, is the voiceovers. The voiceovers in this game are absolutely terrible. The voice quality is terrible. It sounds like Shakespeare in the Park, which would, well, I would say that, but that would be offensive to Shakespeare in the Park. It sounds like high school drama kids, except high school drama kids typically sound like better voice actors than this. And not only is the voice acting bad, but the characters never shut up. They keep talking and talking and talking and talking and talking and talking. And they just talk and talk endlessly to the point that you eventually just want to you're going to want to shut the sound off before the tutorial's even over, but I digress. Anyways, let's talk about the gameplay. The gameplay in this game, is it worthy of the Age of Empires name? One can argue yes, one can argue no. My argument is no. The gameplay here is basically a slower version of every other mobile MMORTS. Massively multiplayer online real-time strategy game, if you didn't catch that. Everything here is slower. Everything here moves really slow. Even in the cutscenes, you can start seeing some lag, which kind of reminds me of late 90s PC games for literal Pentium computers. And this is 2024. This is a property that is owned by Microsoft. You would think the budget would have been higher, but I guess they're only really trading on the Age of Empires name. And MMORTS games on mobile devices are typically exploited as pay-to-win games. This is not really an exception. You can purchase gold. You have to grind for stone, wood, food, iron, all the other resources that you need. And by grind, I mean build the buildings that spawn them, put the villagers in the buildings, etc., etc., etc. And then as you slowly make your way through the game, then you'll be able to start battling against other players, in addition to the computer-controlled battles that you can already do from the outset. In the battles, nothing much really happens. You just kind of sit there and watch the battle happen, and then either win or lose. If you win, you may lose troops, you may not lose troops. And if you lose, you're probably going to lose all your troops. And then you can go back to the tavern, go operate the little gumball machine, try to get better heroes, or go to the barracks, try to train more troops, etc., etc. Sorry, my AirPod fell out. The city, of course, or the kingdom rather, is just an endless cycle of upgrading until you need to upgrade the castle or the town hall or whatever you want to call it, which will unlock more upgrades and more new buildings, which will unlock more. Alright, I really need to get some wireless AirPods. Or just a microphone. Anyways, yeah, endless cycle of upgrading, battle against other players, battle against the computer if you want to, try to accumulate resources. You have a lot of power-ups in this game that can help you speed things along. They're mostly the same kind of power-ups you see in other MMO RTS games. There's really not much new here. Unfortunately, the story of this game is that there is absolutely nothing to separate it from the pack of other MMORTSs other than the fact that it's 3D and very slow and has the Age of Empires name attached to it. But those don't really make it worth it, unfortunately. Sorry to say. Alright, this was Game Hydro. Like and subscribe if you like this review. I've got more content on the way about maybe this game, but definitely about other games. Alright, thank you.